why don't we jump right into it, and why don't we welcome up our three panelists for this next talk, Julien, Vianney, and Nicolas. Give them a huge round of applause. So guys, I built a session of this conference just for you. I hope you've enjoyed the last few talks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not every day the SREs get their day.
We are in the lights today, so that's fine.
Yeah,
for once.
No, it was a good idea, very good one.
Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad it was just for you. So one of the reasons I really wanted to talk about this topic is I feel like we often spend a lot of time looking at application engineering. And we often talk about improving engineering organizations so that we can build more, and we often kind of leave in the shadows a little bit platform engineering, and at Scaleway, platform engineering is a big function. The platform side is a big part of it, and so I kind of wanted to start with a really easy question, which is maybe what is platform engineering?
I guess there is many great definitions, but mine is something about being internal provider, internal service and tooling provider for a wider tech organization. We are engineers, mostly SREs or platform engineers. The name is here, and we are at the service of others engineers.
Indeed, we are providers for the other teams within R&D's organization, and we want to empower them. We want to give them the ability to be autonomous.
Yeah, we'll have the same kind of definition. I think platform engineering is mostly helping developers on the day-to-day activities. So the point is to offer them managed services like database, queuing, and so on, and also dev tools like CI/CD, just to be sure they can be efficient. I think that's the main goal of a platform team.
Yeah, it's really like the engineer's engineer, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the internal, the under the hood, right? You're what's underneath the engine.
Yeah, like Alice in Wonderland, you have to go downstairs.
Yeah. It's the rabbit hole. Yeah, I know. I've got a few of our platform engineering team in the office in Lille, and it's really when you sit down with them to talk about the things they're thinking about, it's really you get deep into the layers very quickly. We've got this notion. So it's very clear for me who the internal client is, right? I mean, who you're thinking about, right? Application engineers are thinking about the end user. Your end user is the engineer. What do you think the mission is? Like, how do you describe internally when you think about like quarterly goals for the team? What are you driving towards, sort of aspirationally?
I guess sometimes it's about creating and maintaining specific services to sustain growth or to sustain a specific team that has a specific need. And sometimes it's about being the best advisor for a team that needs some guidance to how to use this tool, this monitoring tool. It depends from the size of the team and the business, I'd say.
Yes, and also we are the warrant of security for if you operate a cloud provider, you would want like your team to use it at best, like for it to be operational and to be secure. You don't want one just to open like a random internet access to some machine to perform like an easy operation. So you would have to give the proper tooling for that and the proper observability tools. So you're an enabler.
A key mission of platform. I will say, again, helping developers, and I think one of the points is to be capable to give them time to create the good value. And in fact, value for them is not to manage a database cluster or any kind of infrastructure. Their value is to create products. And in fact, I think the key mission of a platform team is to be capable to give the time to product team to create value and to create products.
Okay, that seems pretty clear to me. What do you think, like application engineering teams, if we broadly kind of label them that for today, what do they think they need from platform engineering?
It differs from team to team, but sometimes they want just a guidance. Sometimes they want us to do all the work, And we are also responsible to have the right approach. For instance, with some teams, we prefer to have an incubating approach, like, hey, come in the team for a week, have a sort of a live my life, and we'll co-build the feature you need or the database you need. And sometimes it's more about, we have this off the shelf, just take it and build your feature.
Mainly, I believe they want to be focused more on the value they can deliver, and they don't want all the hassle of the operations. So they want like frictionless deployment. They want like frictionless observability. They want to just develop something, have the ability to deploy it, and then just to observe it without any issue. They don't want to bother a team. So, hey, my deployment is not working.
What do they want? Very, very difficult question, because it depends absolutely of the type of product you are building first, and also the size of the platform team, because when you are 2 or 3 in a team or 20 or 40, you can do the same. So it's very hard to answer, but I will say what they need from us is to be capable to determine the optimal point between development and operation. If platform team can success to exactly set this cursor at the good place, I mean, the product team will not have to do a lot of operations. They can focus on development, and this way they will be efficient. So I think what they expect from us is to be capable to set this cursor properly.
Okay. Well, so what if I flip the question on its head then? What does platform engineering need from application engineering to succeed? Is the question that never gets asked or never gets answered.
Be gentle.
Commitment? I don't know.
Yeah. Tell me about commitment. Tell me about that.
Like, again, it differs from companies to companies, mostly because of the size of the team. When you're 2, 5, 10 people platform team working for 200 engineers, of course you will ask more from every developers. And the other way around, if you are a big platform team, it means you can remove a lot of frictions at once from the teams. So it depends on how you are organized as a tech org, I guess.
Mainly, of course, it depends on the team. Some of them want to have like from one-click button to be able to perform like a wide variety of things. Some others want to have like the knowledge of what they are doing. They don't want simply to have like a tool that does everything for them. They want to properly understand what is underneath. So it depends on a lot of things, but mainly they are engineers. So they want to understand what is under the hood for like the knowledge, and I think it's good.
I think cooperation, and sometimes for product team it's hard to understand the value added we can provide to them, and I'm not going to blame them, because my feeling about that is that platform team need to be service oriented. That means it's us to show them that we can have value and you can help them. So of course they have to be open-minded to be sure we can work together, but at the end it's up to us to define exactly what they need and to be capable to provide the service that will be helpful for them.
And it's funny that you brought it up, because this was one of the things when we spoke a few weeks ago. Like, one of my big takeaways from the conversation with the three of you is like very clear and common mission, very different means of executing on that mission, right? So Nicolas, very service oriented. Julien, how do you stand up against that?
I guess so. Remember the what I was saying about the size of the team? I'm working with a very small platform team and a few hundred developers. So we have to be smart. We have to work with what open source can offer, with what SaaS services can offer. And sometimes we are just, advisors. When I know that maybe Nicolas is building and maintaining services, we can't. So we have to be smarter and find ways.
Yeah. And Vianney, a different approach yet again, right?
Yes, we want to empower people as you guys, but we don't want to work for them. We don't want to pull their releases onto production. This is their job. They're building it. They're running it. We've heard that many times today. So we want to give them like the proper tooling, the proper methodologies for them to be fully autonomous. And of course, we'll be here forever to be able to help them like to define something, to do like the good architecture, secure, etc. And yes, we want to be focused more on our roadmap because we want to provide like internal tooling also for the company, but still they would need us at some point.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's the like, I want to say the product approach, the advisory approach, and the service approach. Do you when you guys heard that, is that normal? Like when you think about it, do you think, oh yeah, there's these three different ways of approaching it, or how did you guys? How do you see the method of the others?
It was very funny to meet because in fact we have the same job, clearly, and we have a very same philosophy to approach the platform engineering. But it's true that I think on the field we are all doing differently because the company we are in are different. So it's normal, but I think we share the same kind of goal, which is for our product team to reach the point where you can say, okay, they build it, they run it. This is the target, and this target can be implemented differently in different company.
Yes, we don't have the same job at all. We have the same job, but it's not the same job. I mean,
you don't have the same day to day.
Yeah, it's not the same day to day. It's not the same companies. So if you don't have the same product, whether you're a SaaS company or you're a service provider, it all depends on that. But at the end, we are all enablers. So this is what matters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about efficiency. We said it multiple times. It's about experience, how our developers experience their daily work, how easy it is to create a new service or to maintain an existing one in the end.
Okay, so if you all have the same job but completely different jobs, as you put it, what is platform engineering's North Star metric? Maybe metric is the wrong word. We talked about SLAs, SLOs, and we can talk about that, and that's fine. But maybe like, what's the common destination, right? You all kind of said we're all trying to get the same thing done. It's just different methods based on the industry or the product or the culture of the company. So how do you know that you're on the right path?
Operations, mostly around operations. We want, as I mentioned, frictionless operations. We want people to be like autonomous. We don't want them to get to us to do something. So if our job is to have the minimum of operation possible for a given subject, whether it's on the platform team or on the engineering teams. So we try to reduce that, to automate at most.
And I agree. And we have this new thing that we're trying to achieve internally is about having an NPS, like a satisfaction score among developers. And it's a pretty new way to measure how confident they are about the tooling, how easy it is to create new features every day. And it's bringing new lights on what we do every day.
Yeah, the North Star, I would say customer-oriented, because in fact we are serving people which are working with us on a daily basis. So we need to keep this focus, and this is really our focus to serve them properly. So I say, customer-oriented, maybe also impact-oriented, because what we are doing at platform needs to have a positive impact on them. If not, it's useless, clearly. And the second, I will say rock solid, because in fact, in Scaleway, all the product we are giving to our customer are based on our product internally. So if we fail, they fail. So for us, high availability is a key metric, and we have to be careful with that. So I would say rock solid. Yeah.
I remember, talking with Jose a few months ago. We talked about this. We were talking about SLAs and SLOs, and I felt like there was a really good question, which was, at what point does run override build? At what point do resilience issues bleed into application engineering, where we say we need to stop working on new things and we need to get this? And the incident response, there's a fire in our house or whatever the metaphor you want is. There's the thing is down, it needs to be up, but at some point there's a sort of longer issue. And how do you if collaboration and commitment are the things that you guys need, how do you get that alignment to make application engineering or to align with application engineering on how to prioritize run problems rather than build problems, let's say?
Part of the answer is to give back responsibility and ownership to the features, to the feature teams, to the product teams. So for instance, like if we take the definitions of an SRE team from the Google's SRE book, like every team should have a budget, and every time they exhaust their budget, their error budget, let's say, they should be the one paying attention to operations, stopping the work, having a look to whatever monitoring they have access to, and we should be here to help them, but not do the work for them. It's balance between helping them and doing work.
Yes, indeed, definitively it's a good approach, and I do remember that in the old days a team would have to allocate a quarter within the year just like to fix all the bugs, is the issue, and then could go back on features. But now we can't allow that given like the growth of companies, all the challenges we tend to face, and then at some point the teams with their ownership would have to monitor and have like a credit on that, and we're working on that actually, so it's great.
At a point, you can't live with your legacy. That means you need to do something with all the stuff which are not working properly. And I think it has to be a company commitment, almost. That means that you need to get the support of your top management to solve recurrent issue and to be sure that product team have the time to work on it. And it's difficult sometimes because they have a huge roadmap. They are pushed a lot to release new feature and new products, but sometimes you have to slow down and to address the low-hand issue, which are very important because otherwise you can't scale. So it's very important that your top management is okay with that.
Awesome, guys. Well, I really hope that we succeed in creating that build and run alignment that we get, whether it's a service-oriented approach, a product-oriented approach, or an advisory approach. I hope that we create that commitment and cooperation going forward. Thank you guys for coming out and shedding light on it.
Thank you for the panel.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Let's give them a huge round of applause.